What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 3, Episode 27 of Hit the Books, the podcast all about sports betting, the best bets you should be taking, and everything surrounding sports. This week, we have news from everywhere following our NHL, NBA, and college basketball stream here on Wednesday. Lots to look forward to as we get into this week, gearing up for March Madness, the NHL trade deadline, and much, much more as we get closer to these playoffs for these various leagues. MLB spring training also coming up and starting here soon. So we want to talk about some odds and things out of there. But without further ado, let's jump into this week's episode and introduce my ghosts, Huff, Ace, and Mackie. We're all here this week, excited and ready to deliver everything to you. Huff, let's start off with you this week. What do you got for us here coming into whatever week this is, last week of February?
Yeah, once the NFL season's over, that's kind of how we reference what part of year it is, week, whatever. But yeah, end in February out. By the time you hear this, leap year tomorrow. That's I guess that's exciting for all those people out there that February 29th, once every couple years, get the extra day in there. But feeling good. Had a good week so far betting. 9-0 on the live stream on Sunday. A little solo stream. Rip out 9 winners for the people. Whoever listened, you had a great day. But yeah, that's not much else coming from me. Been a good week so far. Penguins big win last night, like I said in the live stream. Hoping to get them, on a little bit of a win streak here, get a little bit closer to that wild card spot. But everything's been good over here in Pittsburgh for me. Jesse, how about you? Back from Australia? That's all you're going to give us? Nothing?
Sorry, yeah, I was in Australia. I ate kangaroo. I saw some koalas.
Kangaroo?
I ate. You know how we like beef carpaccio, like the really thinly sliced
No
beef?
fucking way. You ate
I
raw
had kangaroo
kangaroo?
carpaccio. Yeah,
That's
it's pretty cool.
crazy.
I have a picture of it. It's like purple and shit.
What it tastes
cool.
like?
You ever had duck?
Maybe, actually, yeah.
You probably have, and you really didn't notice.
I
But
think it was like stuffed into something.
duck tastes like chicken, but kangaroo does not taste like chicken. It tastes like
Is
duck.
kangaroo white or dark meat? Or like white or...
It's darker. The way I ate it almost had like a purple hue to it, rather than like what you're
Ew.
normally seeing in like a red meat.
Mackie wouldn't even go near it.
It's great. It was so good.
Grilled chicken. Plain.
Grilled chicken. I forgot about that.
That was so
No, it was
funny.
good. 30 some odd hours in the airport system to get there. Same thing back, but we made it.
That's ridiculous. Is that the
It was
craziest
something.
thing you ate? That's definitely the craziest thing you ate while you were there.
Yeah, that. A lot of fish, a lot of things like that down there. Nothing too wild other than that, to be honest. But I saw, all the animals, koalas, kangaroos, dingbats, or not dingbats. I keep saying dingbats. I can't remember wigwams or whatever they are, and then
Wombat.
dingoes.
Wombats.
I don't know what it is. It's a smaller kangaroo. It starts with a W. Kind of blanking on it right now. But
Wallaby.
that's it, wallaby.
Look at
It's literally just a
Ace.
little kangaroo.
Ace
They
knows
try to
his
trick you.
animal.
I only know my Australian animals because I've been starting Lost kind of late to the trend.
Oh shit!
Entrenched into the first season right now, so getting some good some
There
outdoor
is
knowledge there.
there is no wallabies in Lost.
No, they're coming from Alaska. I mean, not Alaska, Australia. Wow, I can't even speak. They're coming from Australia in their flight, so it has some references back to the flashbacks and whatnot. Tune in, Mackie. It's a good show. It's a good show. But other than that, I might as well jump into my intro here while we're here. Like I said, watching Lost, locked into that. Coaching some high school hockey playoffs. That's always electric. Got the NBA back in action. Got the NHL full swing. My Bruins been giving me the agita going to overtime almost every night. But it's always some fun hockey to watch. See that 3-on-3 and a little bit of the shootout action. Like a little bit more of the W's, but what can I say? They're up there in the points race, so they're doing their thing. And MLB spring training, love the MLB season, so you guys will be seeing my face a bit more. Those breaking news videos coming during the MLB offseason and offseason for everything else. So ready to get going this week.
Nice, Ace. Good to hear from you, Mackie. Why don't we finish it off with you here? Before we jump into this week's episode, what do you got?
Yeah, not much going on. Just still ripping college basketball. We had a good week last week. 3-1 Friday, or 3-1 Saturday, and we hit our 2-unit play, so that was nice. Just looking to keep rolling. The Rangers are obviously playing really good hockey. 9-1 in their last 10. They won 10 straight, dropped their last one, but I'm not real worried about them. Shesterkin's playing some good hockey right now, so just looking to end the season strong. Other than that, not much going on.
Nothing else from me here so far, but don't forget to check out our live streams coming up for March Madness all the sports news, all the odds and the games for that starting Selection Sunday and before. Lots of good stuff as we get into this week's episode here. Again, episode 27. I know we're all excited to be here, even though there's no football to be said, but we got college basketball and everything else. I'm totally blanking on where I need to go. Moving over the outline, like I said, March Madness, very, very close. Selection Sunday, March 17th, just 18 days away now. Lots of live streams and things to surround that.
18 days.
And then first four in is
Mackie and Huff, you better get your pots and pans out and start cooking me up some fire plays. I know you guys been doing it day in, day out, but come March Madness season, I'm gonna be hitting those books.
Mackie, we got basically 2 weeks left to get our goal of 30 units on the year.
Oh, we'll get that 2 weeks. Let's just lock in. Let's lock in.
I think we're sitting at 25.5 right now or something like that. We had a little cold stretch. We dropped down to it was just
20.
over 20, and then we launched 2 plays, and I was like, if we go 1-0 or 0-2, we're under 20 again. And I think we ripped the 2-0 slate, and we're right back.
Baby.
Yeah. But college basketball is buzzing, obviously. Getting down to the nitty-gritty, we kind of talked about in our live stream earlier. Tennessee's kind of stretch they have coming down. They're the 4th-ranked team in the nation. A huge game tonight. By the time you're listening to it, it was last night against Auburn. But a lot coming in the world of college basketball. Definitely gonna be ready. Can't wait to bust out the Tournament Challenge app. Make 1 million brackets. Always love doing that. So 2 weeks away.
Excited.
Yeah.
Huff, do we want to start out with this college basketball stuff?
Yeah,
you might as well dive right in while the people are here.
Go ahead. Yeah, the card record here as of late. Do you have it off the rip?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I think we are, as I remember, 89, 61, and 4. Just over 25.5 units on the season, 25.53, with Tennessee -7 pending tonight at a -110 odds. So we hit that, get up in the 26s again. Like I said, trying to end the season over the 30 unit mark. Sitting at we've been flirting this 25 to 23 to 28 range. We haven't been able to get past that 30. I think we're going to do it before the end of this regular season and before we move into March Madness as well.
Before conference tournaments.
Pouring at my house. I did not know. I was like, what the
Same
fuck is
here.
that noise?
I keep hearing it's really windy too. Like it's
it must have just like
smacking
all
my
hit my
window.
windows at
Bear
once.
down, boys. Bear down. Lock in.
Hurricane in Yinzerville.
That's the goal. We got one more point here in the college basketball world. Court storming has been a hot topic in the world of college basketball the past few days. The most recent incident came from when Wake Forest took down number 8 Duke on Saturday. Students stormed the court, and videos showed an interaction between Wake Forest students and Duke star forward Kyle Filipowski. Not too long ago, we saw Iowa star Caitlin Clark involved in a storming incident as well. What are you guys thinking about this storming?
Back-to-back storming.
The storks are coming.
Back-to-back storming.
Oh, Lord.
I don't know if I can say it. I just said storming.
Court storming.
Obviously, it didn't happen much at Penn State. It's more of a WVU thing, I think.
Yeah, Penn State's not used to that.
This is kind of what. All right. So go ahead. Finish the question.
There goes the power. Jesse's gone.
Oh, shit. What happens now?
Look at you. See the power go out. That's crazy.
He just texted us dead in the water.
Alrighty. After a little technical difficulty here, let's jump back into this court storming incident here. What are you guys thinking about all this court storming stuff? Should it be banned? What can be done for issues like this and such in the college basketball world? Like we said, Caitlin Clark and Kyle Filipowski are the victims here of these latest court storming incidents. What are you guys thinking on those?
Yeah, obviously. So I kind of have one little point to make here. Obviously, we saw the incident with Caitlin Clark where she kind of got like shoved, and it was a lot more of an incident than you saw Filipowski like reach his leg out. Obviously, like I see both sides of this. You're a player in that situation. You just see a fucking crowd of 500, 10,000 people running at you. Like I don't know. You're all gonna react different and like push someone out of the way. That's definitely a given. fake an ankle injury. I just heard that he's not questionable for tonight, so no ankle injury there. That was definitely more of a situational thing. Classic Duke move. John Shire tried to play his best Coach K impersonation after the game. He did give credit to Wake Forest for the way they played. Coach K would have just sat there and been like, "This is ridiculous. You got to have fucking security on both ends of the end zone or of the court. Whatever you got to do, you got to stop this." Meanwhile, Duke is the one stadium where the student section basically touches the fans while they're inbounding, or touches the players while they're inbounding the ball. It's very funny for Duke to be the one that have a problem with this. But also the point I wanted to make, I also think court storming kind of lost its special kind of thing. Like,
It
I
happens
remember
too often.
it happens too often. Don't storm the court if you beat a 24th ranked team in the nation. I'm seeing it way too much. You'll beat any top 10 or any top 25 ranked team. They storm the court. Like, Jesse, perfect example. Your Penn State Nittany Lions had Illinois last week. They were ranked 12th. And that Ben, what's his name, that came on the podcast?
Waserman.
Yeah. He was
Wasserman.
put on his story that they're storming the court after beating Illinois. I know you're a 7-point underdog. I know Illinois is a ranked team. You're not. You don't rush the court
So
for beating a 12th ranked team.
I was told it was because it wasn't at Bryce Jordan,
I believe.
It was in
I
the rec
definitely
hall,
believe that. Yeah, it was at the rec
which is
hall.
a very
whatever.
different atmosphere.
Yeah,
That's
I
our
did
wrestling
finally
area,
look into
like-
that, but that's just one example. There's definitely many
But you're
more
right.
where teams aren't beating. For me, it was a top 10 team. I remember when I was at West Virginia, they beat Baylor. We stormed the court. Baylor was ranked 3rd or 2nd in the country at the time. That was the biggest win in college
I think
basketball
top
at the time.
5.
Top 5, yeah. I thought
I'll give you top 10, but I think it should be top 5.
No, top 10's a stretch, to be honest.
Because look at how often 7 through 10 filter in and out with ranked teams too.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
You have those top 5 teams who are pretty much always staying in the top
I just
5.
think it got a little watered down with whenever you beat Ole Miss or Texas A&M, who's ranked 24th in the nation. You don't need to storm the court.
I agree.
Like, just do everyone a favor. Just don't do it. It's not that big of a win. You know what I mean?
I just think
That's
it's
what
pretty
I've been waiting to get that
unsurpassable.
off my chest since this happened on Saturday. I was like,
Make
could
storming
be the-
courts great again.
yeah, literally, just do it when you're actually supposed to storm the court. Like, you beat Duke. That's a rivalry game. That's fine for Wake Forest. Like, Duke is ranked 8th. Duke's obviously held to a higher standard than most other college basketball teams. Duke, Kentucky, there's those blue bloods that people kind of rank higher than everyone else. You beat Duke in a rivalry game, in-state rivalry, Wake Forest, Duke. That's one that goes way back. That's obviously an emotional win for those fans. Definitely a tough look when they're running out there a little bit before the buzzer expires. So obviously didn't really give the players the full time to get off the court. So that's another tough look for Wake Forest. But yeah, that's my thing is it should be just top 10. Mackie, I agree. It should be just top 5, but I'll give you top 10. But if I see another school storming a court for beating a 18th or 19th ranked team in the country, there's going to be a problem.
You're gonna have something to
That's all
say about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some. I'm not gonna be able to root for that team anymore. They're just bad
Now
fans. They
Huff's
just-
mad.
yeah,
Huff's pissed.
Yeah, I
That's
think
all
it's
I
pretty stupid too, but
I just think it
I
happens too much.
I didn't think he'd
Agreed.
get so upset about storm courting.
Yeah,
we need to
I
stop
literally-
saying that.
it's
It's embedded in my brain at this point.
like who was it, Mackie? A couple weeks ago, Creighton beat UConn. That's a big win. Storm the court. You know what I mean? Like,
It's #1 team in the country. Yeah,
exactly. Fucking storm the court. That's a big win. But like,
that's when you storm the court. You beat the #1 team in the country.
exactly. That's the definition of do it. Like, even like Ohio State. I think they beat Purdue in Ohio State. That's another big one. Definitely do it there.
1000%
Like,
storm the court. 1000%.
yeah, like, but if you beat Texas or like for right now, for example, South Carolina, like, you know what I mean? If South Carolina's playing at Vanderbilt and Vanderbilt beats them, they're not allowed to storm the court. Absolutely not allowed.
no way. The 18th
Yeah.
ranked team in the country. They were projected 13th in the SEC in the preseason.
Mm-hmm. That's all I wanted to say. That's why I wanted to start there, just because I knew I was going to ramble on about that for a little bit.
Lots of good stuff there in the college basketball world in the court storming era and whatnot going on. So more on that as we get through these next few weeks for March Madness and see what happens in the March Madness world. Let's shift our focus over to the NHL here, starting off with our power rankings for this week. Coming at number 5, we have the Winnipeg Jets. Number 4, the Boston Bruins. Number 3, the Vancouver Canucks. Number 2, the New York Rangers. And at number 1, the Florida Panthers to finish off our list here for this week, our NHL power rankings. What are you guys thinking about these here this week?
Florida gets that spot. They've
The
earned it, like I
Rangers are
said.
back.
I said on the live stream, this Florida
They
team
never
looks like
left,
they
Mackey.
did whenever they were on that run to the Cup. Obviously, like you said, the other teams sitting there, Mackey, your Rangers, Ace, your Bruins, they slid a little bit, but obviously said they find a way to make it to overtime in every game, so they're picking up points and losses. Definitely something you want to see, but I don't know. Is there any other kind of surprises to you guys on this list? I definitely think this is one of our better, our most solid lists. These are 5 teams that I could see go far in the playoffs, in my opinion.
The Avalanche are going to reinsert themselves in this ranking very soon. And we
I
didn't really
agree.
talk about it on our live stream. We talked about them being able to take over their division. There's a chance they could even win the NHL point race as well. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know about you guys. That's one team that I think is very good, very not underrated, but I guess being overlooked a little bit.
And they're
A
clicking at the
couple other
right
good
time.
teams. Yeah, a couple other good teams. The Hurricanes always right there. Vegas Golden Knights always right there. Dallas and Toronto have been slipping a bit, and we can attribute that mostly to their goaltending, I would say, which is crazy to say when you have Jake Ottinger on one side. Tampa or Toronto, we know they can't stop anybody from putting the puck in the net. Weak defensively, weak goaltending, but they have the scoring machine, which is Austin Matthews, so can't count them out either. A lot of the balance coming out of the East, in my opinion, but I like this list, like you said, Huff. Very good ranking this week.
Agreed.
Matthew,
Yeah, I think all
anything?
these top 5 teams can all be interchangeable. I think you could put Jets at 1, Canucks probably not at 5, but all 5 of these teams could be deserving of that one spot. They're all just a win off here and there. So
Like
yeah,
that's
good list.
kind of why I had to slide the Bruins, because obviously the Panthers on this run, Rangers just coming off a
Just
10
because
game
of
win streak.
play up
They're
late.
yeah,
They're 3 and 7
yeah, I was
in
gonna
their
say this
last
is.
10.
But what are those? What is is that 3 and 7 straight up? What's the OT
I think
record?
it's like-
No,
I
Like
think
they
it's
have
5
like
losses.
3,
5
4, and
over. I think
three. I want to say 3, 4, and 3, or
no,
3,
they're
3, and 4.
2 and 5.
It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
It's just
That's
like
5 points in
ridiculous.
losses.
It's
Win the
insane.
overtime games. Win your shootouts.
The Bruins are low key fake good. Like they have like 30 regular. They have like 30.
No, they're
losses.
really banged up. They're also really banged up. If we dove into their team right now, they're missing a lot of top end defensemen, missing 4 out of their top 6. So, that's a very important piece, I think. Still being able to get points in that time frame. Like I said though on the stream, it's not about being the hottest team right now. It's really about the end of the season. They're going to make some splashes at the trade deadline. Sweeney always does. They've been looking at a lot of different names, back end help, up front help. I think they're going to dish some pieces. We know that Sweeney's a heavy hitter at the trade deadline, so he's hit jackpot the last few years. I expect him to again, maybe find like a Dmitry Orlov or something like that. But this trade deadline is going to affect our rankings heavily coming down the stretch.
Ship Olmark.
That's the $1 million question.
I think you should. I mean, you kind of want that dual threat for the playoffs, and now that you know that Swayman's your guy, it might be a little more easy for that coach to make a decision. But I mean, if you need to move him to get those pieces,
Yeah, we'll see.
You're
We'll see
gonna
how it
trust
goes.
Swayman. You trust Swayman to get the job done.
I think they can get away with giving out other pieces, but as long as if you're moving Olmark, you just got to get a haul coming back, because we know how hard it is to find good goaltending in this league, and the last 2 years he showed how solid he can be.
Good stuff there to get us started here in the NHL. A couple little points here for things that have happened in the past week or so in the league. Patrick Kane returned to Chicago the other night and rang in the game winner in OT by a score of 3-2. He's now scored on every single NHL team with that goal there against his former team, the Chicago Blackhawks. You guys have any thoughts on that as Patrick Kane returned home and got his first goal in the United Center?
That's one of the best. That's
was
one of the
electric
best returning
atmosphere.
moments for any NHL, any professional sporting athlete ever. That's one of the best way to return to a place that you won 3 Stanley Cups. You're a legend there. Obviously, Taves was the captain. Kane was always known as like everyone's guy. He was so loved there. Didn't really want to leave. Wanted to go win a cup with the Rangers last year. They let him do it. Now he's obviously finds himself in Detroit leading a young team. And if you would have told me when I was younger, I used to love those Red Wings teams with Zetterberg and Datsuk, the ones that were going up against those Blackhawks all the time. If you would have told me Patrick Kane was going to be a Red Wing, I'd be like, yeah, no, absolutely no
And
way.
still
is
doing
he
his
gonna-
thing.
And literally, yeah, at a time where he's still Patrick Kane and breakaway. As soon as he got that breakaway, you knew what was going to happen. And the best part was when you can see him coming down as soon as he crosses like the blue line or top of the circles. He does the little look over his shoulder and sees there's no one behind him. He's like, oh, this is fucking cake, and just rips it, dude. And the Selly, too, like that. And the fans didn't know whether to boo or cheer. They were like, fuck, at least Kane scored.
Yeah.
And then he does his
Dude,
classic celebration to the crowd. Like,
he's
come
so
on.
gross. Yeah, he's so gross.
I was just hoping that Bedard didn't have the bubble on because we saw 98 throw the hit on him in the zone. He said if he didn't have that fishbowl on, I would have been dropping him with him. Imagine
Yeah,
a Kane or Bedard tilt.
that was funny. But absolute rock star moment. That was unreal.
Yeah, definitely a great one there in Chicago the other night. Lots to look forward to as we continue to watch Patrick Kane on these Red Wings. Moving over to Colorado, Nate McKinnon is on an insane hot streak here. 29-game home point streak, 22 goals, 38 assists. Just a madhouse in 29 games, honestly. You guys have any thoughts on that and this Colorado Avalanche team this year?
He's going to take home the MVP this year. He's going to have to work hard to beat Kucherov, who's having a crazy year himself. But I think he's able to do it, and I think there's a chance they push for the points lead. The Nate Dogg is finally fully healthy. Hopefully he finishes the season that way, and he's showing you what he can do when he's on all cylinders for the full 82.
Is there a chance they get Landeskog back for the playoffs?
I don't think so.
No, but Rantanen's back now. He came out of the player help
Assistant
program. Yep. So that's a huge lift.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
only gonna
mean,
it's only going to uptick 29's points too out there in Colorado.
he's just gonna need a little more help. This team's not playing that well around him. Gorgiev's also not playing that well. I mean, he's having an insane season, but how many? I mean, we've seen
You're not winning
McDavid
a
do it for
Stanley Cup
7
with
years.
Gorgiev.
Yeah, you've seen McDavid do it for 7 years and get nothing out of it. So, if he can get the support, we know this Avs team is built for championships.
Run,
But
yeah.
I don't know. We could see this team definitely struggle. They first round exit last year. Remember that?
Big facts.
Who did they lose to in the first round
Nope.
last year?
Kraken.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Keep it going here in the NHL. I noticed something lately. Fighting is back. I feel like we've seen a good bit of fights over the past few weeks. Ducks and Preds had a fight. Coyotes, Jets, Rangers, Winnipeg, St. Louis, Winnipeg, Sens and Preds, Minnesota, St. Louis, Flames, Oilers, Rangers, Flyers. I feel like you're hearing a lot of the same teams there, but definitely some action in the league after I feel like just years of people saying, oh, fighting's gone. And I feel like there was not much fighting in previous years, but I think there's been more fighting in the past 2 weeks. And
It's always the
more than I
youngins
can
trying to make
remember.
a name.
Rempy, man. Rempy from the Rangers. He's had
I love it.
4 fights in 6 games. He's got his ass beat last game. I forget who it was, but he was 4-1 in his first 5. He was actually
against Olivier.
he was landing them. But
Columbus.
Olivier, man, he's probably the like punch for punch, probably the best fighter in the league. That guy was landing them left and right. But I mean, I like what we're seeing. The guy's huge. Everyone's testing him. He's going out there and he's standing his ground. And he's going out there and he's playing hockey. I mean, you can't ask for much more. And this Rangers team is rolling with him too. So,
Dude, he dummied Delorier. That fight with Delorier, everyone's acting like that was fair.
Yeah,
Delorier didn't land a punch.
yeah. And then Matt Martin against the Islanders. I mean, he's going up against the big dogs. And then obviously, what's his face, Olivier, just fucking clocked him.
Might have to get him.
Absolutely
Might have to get a
Doesn't he have-
rematch
doesn't he have-
tonight.
Nah,
Doesn't he
they
have
won't.
Revo on the card? Doesn't he have Revo on the card this weekend?
Yeah, he's got Toronto coming up Saturday, but I don't think he's gonna fight. He's got a black eye. I think he's literally just gonna be like,
He's
"Listen,
got to get
man."
ready for the Ryan Reeves
gotta-
tilt. It's like Doug Glatt. Fucking, you got to be ready for it.
He's like, at some point you gotta just I mean, I respect it. He's not turning anything down, and I
Can't
wouldn't
do it every night.
hate it. I'm not gonna hate him for
It's his
fighting at all,
style,
but
right?
at some point I think he's got to be like, "Listen, man, I want to actually get on the ice here."
And
Hey
live his
man, I want to
life,
be able
not-
to. I want to be able to see by the end of the season, not just have
Right,
2
right,
black
yeah.
eyes the rest of my life.
Right. But Olivier got him good. His eyes black.
Definitely a great set of fights here these past few weeks. Lots of action in the NHL. I'm really liking where it's heading.
Have any of you ever had a black eye?
Yeah.
Really? Like that bad?
Yeah, not that bad. I didn't get
No,
socked
not
in the
like-
face.
yeah.
I've gotten it from other stuff.
Like what?
Getting hit in the
Like
head,
got
near
hit with
your
like a
eye.
baseball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just get hit in the eye with
I
something.
took a
or-
slap shot to the head. I think my senior year. Fucking got a black eye off that.
Did you have a helmet on?
You get hit.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
yeah. I guess
It
yeah.
caught
You'd
me
be
right
probably
in
dead if you
between the bubble and the clip right here.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
think
damn.
he'd be.
or he'd
I
have
think
a
he'd be okay.
serious fucking gash on his forehead.
Yeah.
he'd be
Huff, do you
losing
remember when
that night.
Dan got hit with a
electric.
puck in the chin?
I guess it is because your eyes. They say this part around your eyes is really like sensitive. Like if you get any pressure to your head, like the blood vessels just pop, and that's why it turns purple.
And the bone, those are like some of the smallest bones in your body.
And then it
Yeah.
turns yellow and shit. And
It looks like the most painful thing. That's what I was getting to. Is like
it's not that
whenever
painful though.
I know it looks so painful when they're just sitting there like, and their eyes just like swelled shut. It looks like they're trying
Yeah.
so hard to open their eye. I'm like, dude,
They
that
just
looks
went
terrible.
fucking 8 rounds with Floyd Mayweather. No.
Yeah. I'd rather a cut
Literally.
across the cheek than a fucking
Yeah.
black eye any day of the week.
Alrighty, one more thing here in the NHL. You guys want to go over your nightly individual pick process and what you guys been going, what's been hot and what's been good lately. Mackie, I know you've been on the Rangers. Huff, loving those first period unders. Ace with the anytime goal scorers. What do you guys have to say to our viewers about that?
Rangers.
I
are
want to
just
lock
gonna
in on
keep
those.
riding 'em.
That goal scorers one is fun, especially when you get a fat slate. You got to look at the matchup, see who they're playing, look at who gives up a lot of shots night in and night out. Weaker goaltenders too, and you take some of those guys who are on that power play out there on the first line, out there in crucial moments, always getting set up for the big looks. Cash with Kachuk last night at +190, missed out on Cooch. He did get an apple, but it's been productive so far. So I'm definitely gonna ride that train when I see good value and good matchups.
Ace, how steep are these guys' point odds compared to goals?
Oh my god, crazy! Like Kucherov -501, right? You'd have to get a pair of points if you, yep. Sometimes like that. If you get 2+ points, that's when you're looking at about -115 around even.
Minus
That's
So,
crazy.
500.
Kucherov's
Kucherov
double is
ball.
favorited to get a point. Just like for
McKinnon was like
perspective,
that. McDavid's tonight. McDavid's point tonight has got to be astronomical.
dude, like just for perspective, McCaffrey all year was what, -290, 250 to score a touchdown, and they think Kucherov's that much more automatic to get a point? That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean he's on the power play, and look how many points he has though. He averages like what,
Yeah,
2.5 points.
I mean,
a
for
game?
good reason, but like that's just
Yeah.
crazy.
McDavid.
It's
I
almost
gotta
like
get you
worth
the
taking
McDavid
these
one
guys to
tonight.
not get a point. Like take 3 guys and
It's
say
not,
you're
though.
not
It's
going to get a
not.
point. I know what you mean, but like that's got to be what, +350 to not get one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's a little, but like looking at McDavid tonight, over 1.5 points is -130.
It's disgusting.
He has
You want to hear McDavid over 0.5 points tonight?
-600.
-833.
Jesus.
Jesus.
McDavid has 0 tucks in his last 10 games and 23 assists.
That's why I told you, Hop, don't
He
take that goal
averages-
scorer tonight.
He averages 2.3 points a game in his last 10 games and doesn't even have a
And they're all
goal.
assists. He doesn't even shoot the puck anymore.
He doesn't care. He's just out there fucking dishing apples, wide open nets because the goalie's so intrigued by him.
Yeah, he's a dog. But yeah, definitely. That's why you got to shop around the value. Find a good Chuck +190 last night. That was a good hit. Guy who's
That was a
gonna
good hit,
either-
Ace. That was a nice one.
Look,
Good
Yeah,
find.
got to ride the trends too.
That's going to do it for us here in the NHL today. Moving over to the NBA, starting off here with our power rankings coming in this week. We have number 5, the Denver Nuggets, number 4, the Minnesota Timberwolves, number 3, the Cleveland Cavaliers, number 2, the Minnesota Thunder, and number 1, the Boston Celtics. What are you guys thinking about these NBA power rankings here this week?
Yeah, Celtics clear. Obviously, they're going to be clear cut through the end of the season. Our number one, they've been. Let's just see how they perform in the playoffs. Can they get over that hump? But obviously, these teams, we talked about it in the live stream a lot. The Thunder, the Timberwolves, see how they finish this season. The Cavs still playing really good basketball. The Nuggets, teams like the Clippers, we talked about, right on the outside looking in. I think they end the season strong, definitely in our top 5. What other teams you guys think are right around there? Huff, what just happened?
I shot a water bottle across the room and I was waiting to see if anyone saw it.
I only
I
saw
saw
your
something, I
I
didn't
only
know
saw
what it
your
was.
reaction. You were like, "Did anyone see that?"
I like held it and I went like this and no one was looking. So I was just like, yeah, I guess no one noticed. I don't want to change the subject.
Mackie, to answer your question though, on our power rankings there, I think the Bucks are a team outside of that top 5, obviously, that you can count on to be there, and they'll get back into that top 5. I think the T-Wolves will end up slipping out. One team that I kind of beat the drum on early in the year, been kind of quiet on them, but those Phoenix Suns still lingering around. I think that's going to be a team you don't want to see come playoff time. They have guys like the Slim Reaper out there, still doing their thing, and just eventually you got to think things will start clicking even more than they already have been. They're going to be a playoff team. It's going to be a tougher series than you think. You can probably find some good value on them as well. I find it night in and night out. They're underdogs a lot or less than 3-point favorites. So I put them on my personal card a good bit. Other than that, maybe like the Mavericks. Cavaliers, I don't believe too much in, but they're close to breaking that ranking too.
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely think, obviously, your Celtics, number one. I kind of made my opinion on those Thunder. But the Cavs kind of coming out of nowhere the past couple of weeks, playing really good basketball. Huge, obviously. I was telling you before we got on. Played Dallas last night, a 3-quarter court. Max Strus, buzzer beater to win the game. They're just finding ways to win games. I know you can't rely on those all the time, but they're picking up wins. Timberwolves, I do think they'll slide a little bit if the depending on this Anthony Edwards injury and what that's going to look like. Obviously, there's some other injuries around the NBA, but obviously, anytime your team's number one out in the West, it's going to be a little bit more Jurassic for your team. They have a good bench and a good starting five, other than Edwards, but I just that team revolves around him.
Good stuff there, guys. Let's jump into a little more of what we talked about on the live stream here today. Maybe some of these player awards and conferences and such in the NBA. Some of these MVP odds. Jokic coming in as the favorite at minus 135. Shai Alexander coming in at plus 230. Luka coming in at plus 500. Giannis coming in at 1,500. And Tatum at plus 4,000 to round out that top five. Any thoughts on top of what we talked about on the stream here?
I just don't think there's value to buy in on Jokic, but I wouldn't be surprised if he took it home again. We were saying this on the pod. I feel like the NBA is the type of league that wants a new face coming in. I feel like they're going to give it to someone, and if you think the Thunder can end as that 1 seed in the regular season, maybe you throw it on SGA. We could see if the Mavs keep turning up, maybe give it to Luka. That's a guy they really want to push as a new face of the league as well. But Huff was saying Joker's average or has like 19 triple doubles on the year, has won against every team in the NBA in his career now. I mean, you can't deny stats like that. And if he just keeps putting stuff together and they do end up being the 1 seed in the West once again, then I wouldn't be surprised if he takes home another award like that.
Absolutely. I think it's his award to lose, but I definitely think Shai and Luka are tighter on his ass than those odds tell you.
Yeah, it's a lot tighter than some of the last few times he's won, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Especially with the way the West is sitting. I think it's all about who ends up taking home that 1 seed personally.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you look at the standings in
the
the East.
season
It's the Celtics and then everyone else in the East, and then you look out West. Every team's separated by a half
Crapshoot,
game
yeah.
or a game and a half. Yeah.
I think there was a stat that said the top to 8 teams in the West, I saw this the other day, I don't know if it still rings true, are closer together than the Celtics are to the 2 seed.
Yeah.
I'm not
That's crazy.
No,
surprised.
it's 1 through 9 or 1 through 8 in the West are closer than the Celtics to the 2 seed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. Celtics built a crazy team. I don't know how people let them get away with that roster, but Drew Holiday falling in their lap was one of the missing pieces, along with Porzingis finding his
yeah.
game. Yeah, he found his game with the Celtics. Fits so well.
Let's see what they could do with it.
Alrighty, Huff, you want to give us a little update on Trae Young and his injury update?
Yeah, obviously, like we were just saying, Atlanta Hawks currently sitting in a play-in playoff spot, however you want to look at it. Going down, or their star guy going down, Trae Young, injured his hand in Friday's loss to the Raptors. I think this was last Friday when he did get hurt, and is now going to undergo surgery to repair the radial collateral ligament. Look at me, not needing any pronunciation
Not
there.
a doctor.
And he will be reevaluated in 4 weeks. So obviously Atlanta losing their number one guy. Really the only reason I watch the Hawks is Trae Young. Whenever I do tune into them, I am a fan of his. So tough to see him go down. You got to anticipate the Hawks will fall out of that play-in spot in the East. Ace, I know you're a fellow fan of his. What do you think? Do you think this team can hold up this 10 spot in the in the play-in tournament? Or do you like Brooklyn, Toronto, to one of those teams to catch them? I don't think Charlotte, Washington, or Detroit can do anything.
I personally think that the Hawks will still stay in a playing spot. Will they do much with it? Probably not. I'm just kind of bummed because I was hoping Trae Young would have been dealt. Injury obviously doesn't help that too much. I wanted him to get a change of scenery, but I think they'll be able to stick around with what they have in that play-in tournament. And then who knows what can happen? Kind of light competition there as well. So they'll be where they already are. I don't see them moving up anymore though, which they could have done with Trae Young.
Yeah.
One more take
Imagine
though in the
Trae
NBA
Young's a
here.
Laker. Oh,
That would have been so amazing, just ripping threes with AD and LeBron doing all the work.
dude.
But no, one more point I did want to bring up here in the NBA. Don't have it on the list, but I don't know if you guys saw this. Did you see Jimmy Butler hosting the rest of the guys that were suspended the other day watching
That
the
was funny.
game on the live stream? That was pretty funny. Jimmy Butler, great guy. I think he's one of my favorite personalities in the NBA. But they've been playing good basketball too. I think they've been on a pretty good heater out there. So that's one team you can never count out is Miami with their coaching staff depth and Jimmy Butler.
They went on a little 7-2 stretch. I think it was last week or
That's what I'm saying. They were on 7
last
of 10,
couple
I thought.
Yeah, maybe it was 7 of 10. I saw 7 and 2 at one point, and they probably lost one more to make it 7 of 10.
Yeah, so they've been. That's a team. That's one of the teams that all these powerhouses. I don't think you truly want to see. Yeah, you match up them well, but we've seen what they can do. I mean, they always get to where they want to be at the end of the year, and they're not even that good. But that coach is one of the best for a reason.
Yeah, definitely.
All righty, let's shift our focus over to the NFL here post Super Bowl. First point here, Jets general manager Joe Douglas says the team is giving quarterback Zach Wilson permission to seek a trade. So within a few weeks, there might be just one of 5 quarterbacks taken in the first round of the 2021 draft still with their team that drafted them. What are you guys thinking about this here coming out of New York for Zach Wilson?
Yeah, I mean,
Who would you rather have, Zach Wilson or Mac Jones?
Zach Wilson.
I was just gonna say, like, is it crazy to me to say, like, I don't think it's crazy for a team to take a flyer with a late round pick on him. I really don't.
I would take a flyer on both those guys because look at what Baker Mayfield was able to do with that resurgence. Maybe it takes a while for some of these guys. They have the skill set.
Baker Mayfield was actually good in Cleveland, though.
Yeah, he actually had a good. You're right, Mackie. That's a good point.
Won a playoff game.
I still think. Yeah, they could still have a resurgence of sorts. They're really young quarterbacks that were in not the best systems. Dealt with a lot of media on the 2 spots too. I would take a flyer on them. You get him as a good backup too if you have an injury-prone guy like Matt Stafford. That some of the injuries he had when he went down this year, Deshaun Watson.
That's a good example.
If you have
Kirk Cousins, someone
Kirk
like
Cousins,
that.
yeah. I would take a flyer on someone like that. Or you draft a young guy. Like I'd like to have one of them as my backup because you know you're going to get more than just the casual backup.
In my opinion, Zach Wilson has what it takes to be an NFL quarterback. I think it's all a confidence thing with him. We've seen the flashes of him being a good quarterback. We know it's in him. He has the athleticism. He has the smarts. It's just all confidence. He has zero confidence in his game. The Jets kind of made it like that. That fan base made it like that. Aaron Rodgers coming in made it like that. I think if he gets a fresh start, maybe he comes in as a backup. Nobody expects anything.
He needs the right coaches.
He lights it up for 3-4 games, gets that confidence. He could be a starting quarterback in this league. But I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying he has the potential for it.
If he becomes a backup, he's one of the top end backups in the league.
I also think him in New York didn't. Obviously, I make excuses for Russ all the time. I think Hackett was a terrible head coach. I don't think Zach Wilson and Nathaniel Hackett is necessarily a dream quarterback offensive coordinator duo, if you ask me. And then you go up to the head coach and you have a defensive head coach that's not going to add anything. You know what I mean? Like,
it was only Hackett for 1 year. I mean, he had a few mentors or a few coaches.
Saleh wasn't even an offensive-minded coach. I think he needs to go somewhere that's kind of like a quarterback guru, like a quarterback whisperer.
He never had the opportunity in New York. It was an awful place to get drafted. It's an awful place to start your career, and I think that if he can start fresh, maybe he can gain some confidence back and be a good NFL quarterback. Mac Jones, on the other hand, we saw flashes of him being a good quarterback in the beginning. And I don't think what.
He went to a Pro Bowl.
He had a worse situation than Zach Wilson. If you think about it, though, look at Zach Wilson's talent
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
The Jets' talent was way better than the Patriots.
Himself. Mac Jones threw his own career away by himself.
Who did Mac Jones play with his whole career that was good?
You as a Patriots fan, you watched Mac Jones last year.
No, but just answer that question, though. No, I'm just saying, answer that question. He's in this, like, they're in the same boat, but has Mac Jones ever played with any good skill player? Any?
I can't name any receiver Mac Jones has thrown a ball to other than Juju. Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah, a bunch of threes.
Oh, there's been a few. He's been there for like 3-4 years.
Yeah, there hasn't been a good one since Edelman.
Give me some names. Yeah, like who's the last receiver?
Kendrick Bourne, Devontae Parker, N'Keal Harry, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yo, you know what's crazy is that before this season, last season, you were gassing up every single one of their skill players. Talking about how they had Gesicki and Hunter Henry, and they had Juju.
I was saying there was potential of them.
No. I would love to go back.
Pull up the clips. I would love to. I never said that. we literally wanted DeAndre Hopkins. Like, if there was ever a marquee receiver on the market, we wanted them so bad. And then I remember you guys saying, "How do you feel that you didn't get any of them?" I'd be like, "Well, that's great."
ESPN was even posting the look at this Patriots, the skill players Patriots have.
Well, it was so bad the year before though. It was so like it got even like it's just none of those guys.
Brady left.
At least he had
Mac Jones is literally the worst quarterback in the league. He did it to himself. The throws he made were by himself. I don't think he has an NFL career ahead of him.
I think he'll be a quality backup at least. If not, I mean, you go put him in that Minnesota Vikings offense with Hawkinson, Addison, Jefferson. Be a much better look than what you have with New England.
Mackie, I think a good comparison for Mac Jones is kind of Trubisky and how he got the second chance in Pittsburgh. Both guys have lost a playoff game as a starter. The team they got drafted, Trubisky second overall. Jones was mid first round, obviously to the Patriots, in the Bears, different situations, but I definitely think Mac Jones will get a chance. But obviously, you just saw the Steelers move on from Trubisky. How long of a chance will it be? I don't know. I think he'll definitely get a chance on a roster though.
I think
like
Trubisky
the Panthers come in like anyone. You know, like I could name a bunch of teams. It's like fuck it, he could be a third string quarterback.
Yeah, he could be a good backup compared to many of the others.
Trubisky at one point was our third string when Rudolph was the starter and Pickett was healthy. It went Rudolph, Pickett, Trubisky.
Trubisky was also number 2.
But you don't want either of those guys as anything other than your backup. I don't think.
Yeah, no. I don't even want Trubisky coming in to play the game. I like him holding a clipboard. I'm so glad he's not a Steeler.
Would you rather have Trey Lance or those two guys?
Trey Lance.
Really?
The upside is just so much better than the other two.
There's got to be a reason he's not on the field ever, though.
Yeah,
I mean, he's always hurt.
I think he's immature, and I think he's.
Trubisky was one of the worst starting quarterbacks I've ever watched for wear a Steelers uniform. Backup or not? Like, seriously, that was. Yeah, but Trubisky would come in and just throw interceptions. At least Pickett just is scared to.
But with the way the NFL quarterback landscape is, like, you can do much worse than Mac Jones and Zach Wilson, in my opinion.
Who?
Desmond Ridder. There's a lot of like any of the backups too. I'm just saying.
I give you credit.
The starting quarterbacks nowadays.
Desmond Ridder might be.
I'm surprised Mackie didn't say Bryce Young.
I would actually choose Bryce Young over Mac Jones. I would.
You have to choose Bryce Young. You have to choose Bryce Young.
Yeah, you'd be an idiot.
What do you mean, obviously, man? Like,
what?
God damn.
No, but with the weak quarterback landscape, I think these first round picks that are falling off are quality backup options to have nowadays.
I think here's my thing with the
I
NFL.
disagree because I think these guys that are top first round picks, they have all the confidence in the world. You want to throw them into a backup position, and then you think they're just going to go out there and prove you wrong. I think that the confidence is.
No, I don't think they're proving anything. They're just like going to step in when the starter gets hurt. Like it's better than having a guy who's
zero
never
confidence.
been there.
They have absolute. Their confidence is at the floor. You were a lottery pick, and now you're a backup for a team outside of the playoffs 99% of the time.
Yeah,
so, like,
I'd personally. I mean, if I had a good team, I would grab him as a. Look at Sam Darnold. Like that's what they can go on to be.
Why would you want to go on to be Sam Darnold?
That's what they're going to do, though. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what's happening with a lot of these bust first rounders now. They're turning into quality backups.
But like the thing with the NFL and the quarterbacks, like here's the it's happened for years and years and years. These quarterbacks, these teams way overvalue quarterbacks because they need a quarterback. They're a quarterback away. Get your young guy. Get him on a road. Exactly. Like there's so many quarterbacks that if they, it's so hard to say if they weren't a quarterback, they wouldn't be going this high. But it's like there's so many quarterbacks every year that get drafted in the first round that I'm like, that guy's not a first round talent. This team just needs a quarterback, and they don't think he's going to be there in the second round. So your kind of hands are tied, and you're forced to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's exactly what the Patriots did when they picked Mac Jones. They were like, we want him 35th overall, but we don't think he's going to be there.
Yeah,
like I don't think you guys want
left on the board.
And it's like anytime, like I don't know. I'm going to compare it to playing video.
It's kind of like this draft huff. It's going to be like this draft huff, though. It's like if the Patriots keep their 3 pick and they do draft a quarterback, we're not getting the cream or our pick of the litter, I should say.
You're getting the reject. We're getting the third we didn't want.
Yeah, exactly. Just because you need a QB if you want to fill that void so badly.
Exactly. When it's like you could go get a guy, you could go get
trade
a
down
tackle or a tight end. Exactly. That's what I do. I personally would do that, but we'll see what they do.
I would take Jaden Daniels or Drake May.
I was just gonna. I would take Jaden Daniels if I'm sitting there at 3 and it's Drake May. I'd consider giving that pick to Atlanta.
Well, that's different though too because Mac Jones was like we were saying in the teens there. Like, he wasn't a top 3 quarterback off the board. Like, you have the top 3 quarterbacks off the board who are projected to be top picks. At least you're
Mhm,
going to get one
mhm.
of the top 3. I think Mac Jones is, what, 5th quarterback selected in that draft?
I wouldn't. What draft was that?
Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, all
Who
went
was the
ahead of
first
him. Was
overall
there one
pick the
more?
year that Zach Wilson went?
Was it Trey Lance or Justin Fields?
Or
No,
was
it
that the
wasn't
Trayvon
Trey
Walker
Lance.
year where he went 1? That was it had
No,
to be the 19th.
it was a quarterback. It was a quarterback. Who the fuck was ahead of Zach Wilson?
It was Justin Fields.
Yeah.
I think it went Trevor Lawrence. It literally went Trevor Lawrence. You have Zach Wilson. You have Justin Fields, and then Mac Jones and Trey Lance is. I believe he was a first rounder too, wasn't he?
That wasn't that year because he got picked 5th or
Oh, he
3rd
was the year
overall.
after. But still,
Yeah.
yeah, like they had the 4th QB, not in the top 10. Like the two, there was Wilson and Lawrence up top, but damn, that draft class fell heavily.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking as you were reading through those names. I was like, ugh.
I still think
No,
Trevor Lawrence is going to be really good.
I'm starting to give up on him, I think.
Yeah,
I just
it's
don't
tough.
love the team that they're building around him. They have a good defense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you need.
They built a good offense around him too.
What's
if you think
crazy
about
is
it.
like we all expected them to just take over that division as soon as like the Titans run kind of came to an end.
and they
it's
only
like-
won it because of their defense.
And they only won it because of their defense, and now it's like boom, everyone loves this Texans team. Everyone thinks it's the Texans division to lose for the next however many years.
Yeah, it's like now it's Stroud's there. I think Lawrence will resound. I could see a little
He'll
sophomore
compete.
slump
He'll
from
compete.
Stroud.
Yeah,
Anthony Richardson too. Like that's going to be a fun division for
I
years
like
to
that.
come.
I was gonna say I like that Colts team. Just as a fan, I don't love them to win.
Will
it, but
Levis
like
too.
them as a
I
fan.
kind of liked. Will Levis showed me some glimpses of being good.
I don't love that Tennessee team as much without Vrabel.
No, worst roster in the division too.
Yeah, they're different when they have Vrabel. It's like this team could
They're
be
soul
pesky
searching.
tonight.
They lost their.
Yeah.
They lost their coach. They lost King Henry. They sold the defense at the deadline. That team's soul searching. But
I
yeah,
think they
coming
brought
off
in
that
the
Zach
Bengals
Wilson
offensive coordinator that I've never heard of. Like interesting hire there.
full reset. But no, good talk off that Zach Wilson. You don't get that much talk about Zach Wilson. He sees ghosts a lot, but I think they'll turn into good backups. And I bet you, how much money you think they'll make? Guys like that, $2.5 million, like those former first rounders that are going to turn into backups.
Yeah, $2 million.
I think
One year,
Trubisky
$2
made like
million
4.5 here, which is disgusting to think about.
Yeah, but I don't think Zach Wilson gets Trubisky money.
I
want
agree.
that Trubisky money.
I
It's
do
crazy
too.
to say
Fuck.
that, right? But like, I don't think he does. Mac Jones might, because Mac Jones has proved more. Zach Wilson has literally done nothing ever.
That's what Mac Jones is literally like. Now that I made that comparison, like they kind of line up very weirdly similarly. Both lose a playoff game in their first 2 years with the team that drafted them. Team totally gives up on them. It's their fault. Get them the fuck out of here. He's gonna go to like the Cardinals and be Kyler Murray's backup or something.
Yeah, exactly. Give us Kyler Murray for him straight up.
In that case, they can have.
You
Pickett.
do recall
I'll
though.
take
You do
Kyler
recall
Murray.
though. Mac Jones would be through a trade as well. That's the other thing. It's Mac Jones and Zach Wilson are both via trade, so that's interesting.
Yeah, you'll get a 4th or no, that's early 5th, 6th round pick.
I'll take whatever for dealing. Just make sure
Patriots
you
are good at
draft a QB
drafting.
if
You'll
you're
take
dealing.
any draft pick.
Oh, they were. We don't know anything about this Patriots regime.
Yeah, true. That's kind of the same thing I just said with the Titans. It's like I don't know. They might have to re-earn my trust up there.
Yeah, Patriots have a lot to show you.
Let's move over to the MLB here. Spring training has arrived. Ohtani has already hit his first home run. Curious if any of you guys hit on that. Let's go through some World Series odds to see what you guys are liking coming into this year as well.
I'll go through this list. Home runs leader for the 2024 season throughout the entire league, not American League, not National League, everyone all together. Aaron Judge is the favorite at plus 420. Matt Olson for the Braves at plus 850. Mackey's Pete Alonso at 850. Shohei Ohtani at 9-1, and then Schwarber and Jordan both at 12-1 and 13-1. I think we're all in agreement. The value on Ohtani to just hit a ball is fucking insane.
All he has to do is hit balls this
9-1?
year. He doesn't
With
have
the
to do
lineup
the other
protection.
thing.
With the
do we s-
lineup protection, you can't pitch around them.
Hear me
You
out.
can't pitch
Hear
around
me
him.
out.
You want to pitch to Freeman? You want to pitch to Betts? You want to pitch to Muncy? You cannot pitch
No.
to
Will
anybody in that
Smith,
Dodgers lineup. He's sitting dead smack in the middle. You have to pitch to him the ball. He's gonna rake this year. How can he not? He has nothing else to do. He's gonna be in the batting cages 24/7.
And he's in LA.
Doesn't
It's
have to-
perfect conditions every game. Like he's still in LA.
Yeah.
It's perfect conditions every game. He's playing in the NL West. Like there's other good
You
teams.
have to
They're gonna eat.
assume you have to assume he hits like 55 home runs this year. I mean,
Do
I
we-
think
hear me
Judge
out.
does
We-
too. I think Judge is going to be right there.
It's
Everything
just
Judge-
as long as the only downside of this Ohtani bet is if they load manage him a little bit, or if he gets a little dinged up and they immediately.
How
sit
can
him
you
because
load
there's so much
manage
money.
somebody who's only DHing?
Because you're paying him so much money.
He's 28 years old. You pay a man so much money to play. You don't pay to load manage when all he has to do is swing a damn
Yeah,
baseball
they're
bat.
paying him so
You
much
know how
money
baseball
because of
is,
all the
Mackie.
money he's bringing in.
If they flick something and their finger hurts, they're out for 2 weeks. It's
And do you
10-day
think?
IL.
I think they'll be able to afford the luxury of resting him if needed.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand why you're going to pay a man all that money just to load manage him.
Oh, they just want to sell the Ohtani jerseys. Are you kidding me? And win that.
Yeah,
World
they already
Series.
made that money back.
They already made that money back. Yeah, he's
Everything here on is profit.
no. They need a ring. They need a ring to make that money back for sure.
Yeah, I think they will.
I
Easy
truly
pick,
think they will
well.
too. Yeah.
I mean, how can
It's
they
not
not?
the
Sooner or
exciting
later,
pick.
right?
I love this Braves team.
They
Acuna's
added
my favorite
besides
player in the
Ohtani.
league, but
Look at everybody they added. Like Yamamoto, Ohtani. Did they get Glasnow? Like they have so
and
many.
they still
guys that
have
they
the
added.
two best players in the world aside from Acuna
Mookie Betts and Ohtani.
and Freddie Freeman. I'd say.
Yeah, he's not too shabby either.
I wish Freddie was so brave. I
Best-
like that
arguably
Braves
one
team.
of the best
I
catchers in
think
the league,
Dodgers
too.
beat 'em this year.
Honestly,
Smith?
one of the best catchers in the league too with Will Smith. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. They don't have a weak spot. They have 0 weak spots.
and they're still not done. They're not even done. That's the scariest part. And you want to know something crazy? Is their youth that they're bringing up. They have a lot of pitchers. Walker Buehler is back in the mix. He was one of the most electric pitchers when the last time they won a World Series. He's
The
fully
rotation's
healthy. He was pitching a
disgusting.
little bit at the end. They have young guys coming up too. Like that's crazy to me that they have so many top pitching prospects coming up as well. They're going to add an elite bullpen arm too. I would be surprised if they get Kenley Jansen back from us.
I also
Yeah.
think I think the only team that can somewhat compete with them is Atlanta.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
because their roster is
sure.
loaded too.
At least in the NL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I
the
mean,
only
Yankees
team
are
that's going to give them a
fucking- Yankees are
scare is the NL.
Yankees
Astros
are
are pretty good
stacked
too.
this year too.
Astros added
Astros-
Josh
yeah.
Hader.
Astros, you obviously always have to look out for, but that Yankees team, I don't know if they're gonna get over the hump this year because they've been pretty,
Regular season heroes.
not even man. They've been pretty,
not even.
They've been pretty underachieving.
I
I
think
think
the
that,
last
I think
few
that,
years, though.
that
too.
adding Soto is like, come on, this is the year.
Their pitching still ass though.
They'll,
they've
they'll
added
get to,
Marcus
you know they're not
Stroman.
done yet.
That was they added Marcus Stroman, but I don't know if that's
Still
a
have
big enough
Garrett
splash.
Cole too. I mean,
Yeah, you still got
can't
one of
ask
the
for
best
a better
pitchers in
ace than
baseball.
Garrett Cole.
Yeah, but it's nice to have guys behind your ace. Look at the Dodgers rotation. Look at the Braves rotation. Like they have no slouches coming in behind Strider and whoever you want to deem the one out in LA.
Strider's low key is slow.
I didn't know they might be losing. I didn't know. I think Herman's a free agent there. I mean, he didn't have that great a year last year through the perfect game, but he's been a good fill-in
Herman was
rotation piece. for them.
terrible.
They need to get healthy. I think they have Severino, Nestor coming back this
Yeah,
year. They have
Severino was hurt all
Severino's
last
ass
year.
too. These
Mm.
guys, they were all supposed to be good last year. They had terrible years.
They
Herman
weren't,
was
yeah.
terrible aside from his perfect game. Severino
Yeah.
got injured, hasn't been the same since he's been back. They just need guys to step up. Obviously, you're expecting Carlos Rodon.
They live and
pay
die
him
off
all
home
the
runs. If
money.
they're not hitting home runs, they're not going to win. They live and die off.
Yeah, but
fucking
they
Judge.
have the names of the pitching rotation. You had Garrett Cole, Stroman, and Carlos
But now
Rodon.
they
Like
have
those are
Stroman,
two.
you're saying.
Those are three really. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this, like they have the pitching rotation as long as they step up and play. You need Rodon to get back to how he was 2 years
a
ago.
lot of old arms though. There's a
As
lot of old
case,
arms.
as long, I love Garrett Cole, but as long as he's not playing the fucking Red Sox and Devers can't go yard on him in the first inning.
Well, no, he's gonna give up a home run a game. He's due for at least one home run a game. But other than that, he'll strike out 13 and go seven scoreless or seven other than the home run scoreless.
Let's hear these World Series odds. I want to see where everybody's sitting.
Yeah, let's rip through these here. Leading off the World Series odds are the Los Angeles Dodgers at plus 320, the Atlanta Braves at plus 450, the Astros plus 700, Yankees plus 800, Rangers 1400, Phillies 1500, Orioles 1500, and a few teams tied there at 2,000: Blue Jays, Twins, Mariners, and so on.
Let's
I think
start
the
here.
Yanks
Any
have good
chance the
value.
Rangers reach? Any chance the Rangers repeat or get back?
No.
Absolutely not. They got their win. I think that
I
this
agree.
league is too competitive right now for a team like the Rangers to go back to back.
I think so too.
I like the Astros to get back there. I like the odds of those Yankees, but
Dodgers,
my
I'm saying
two
it.
picks
I'm
are Dodgers
Dodgers.
and Dodgers and Braves. I just don't like the value on either of them. I'd like to see
Coming
a
out of
little
the
more
NL.
value on Atlanta because of I know, but I'd like to see a little more value on Atlanta with the Dodgers so heavily favored. I'd like to see them at least 550, 450 is a little low.
The Los Angeles Dodgers.
But I'm not locked into baseball yet, so we got a long way to go
It's-
until I'm actually locked
Enjoy
in.
the spring training. Huff, if you're going down there for a Panthers game, a lot of good spring training facilities
I didn't even
around
think
you.
about that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, I did that
Yeah, go
before.
to a
I
game
did
for
that tour.
$7.
You want to know what's great? You know what's right around that same area, the Florida Panthers, Huff? You have the Nationals and Astros share a spring training facility. You have the Marlins and the Cardinals share a spring training facility, and the Mets have one, all within a 30-minute radius.
Damn.
Mets are
I
in
didn't
point to
even
Port St.
think about
Lucie.
Yeah, it's some good baseball to watch too.
Pirates are in Bradenton. I think that's over by Tampa.
Yeah, they're on the West Coast.
No, Bradenton's East Coast.
West side of
Is it?
I thought that they had two sides of.
Sorry.
Florida for the spring training.
Maybe I wasn't fully listening.
west side of Florida.
Yeah, that's what we meant.
Sorry.
They're on the Gulf side.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't think I was fully listening.
I just know
I heard
They-
something, and then I
Do the
heard West
teams
Coast. I'm
only
like,
go to spring training in Florida and Arizona?
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
believe
Are
so.
there some that go to Texas?
No,
I don't know.
Not anymore. I don't think.
no, there's just
I think they might have used to, right?
Do
No,
they
I
still
don't
have like the
think so.
grapefruit division and like those like weird
Yeah.
names and
Yeah,
shit?
the grapefruit. Well, there's the grapefruit league, and then there's the other one. They're both called two different things.
That's why, like, when Ace joined this, I was like, I'm gonna learn so much about baseball because, like, I'm the most casual baseball fan when it's the only thing on. Like,
Huff, I'm
Ace
telling
is
you,
the
if
one-
if you go down to one, go to the nicest stadium is the Nationals and Astros one. I went the year after the Nationals won the World Series, I want to say, and they had the trophy in there. That's the newest facility. Port St. Lucie, really cool vibe. If you go to Roger Dean Stadium, that's where the Marlins and Cardinals play out of. They play high A ball out of there during the regular season, so I go watch some of that too. Good players rehab there. I think Tebow played there too for the Mets. But you go to Roger Dean. It's like you're right on top of the field, very small venue. But if you go to a Cardinals game, sold out, sea of red, so many people from St. Louis there, kind of a cool vibe.
That is cool.
So yeah.
Is it like the
I'd love to
size of
go
like
to a Cardinals
WVU's field?
game.
Yeah, like the Roger Dean Stadium is, but the Port St. Lucie Mets field a little bit bigger, and then the biggest one would be that Nationals and Astros one. Just the age too. It's just they're newer. As a Marlins guy, as a Marlins being my second team, though, I gotta be that big Roger Dean Stadium guy. That place is great.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to look into that. I didn't even think about that.
That's where I met Byron Buxton when he was that top prospect for a few times. Got a bunch of his autographs.
That is pretty sweet. Is that all we got?
I think we.
I
Said
got
that
one
note
more
about
thing. Sorry, I
Lionel,
just thought of something.
Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie.
Putting some balls through holes.
Yeah, one more point here before we get out of here. In the soccer world, Lionel Messi is back in action with the MLS. Be sure to look out when he's planning to hit on Ace and Huff's favorite bet, his anytime goal. Did you guys hit that the other night?
No, I just saw it. Huff and I saw it. We sent it to each other. We're like, damn, we missed it. 'Cause every time
I
he was
know.
playing before, we were locking it in, and I think he scored in like late in the game too. So that would have been electric. But I'm definitely gonna lock in.
It was
a bit
in
more when we
it was
have
in
that.
stoppage time.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
shit.
I remember that. It was pretty hype too. The stadiums are pretty electric for it. So we're gearing up for the World Cup coming over to America too. So a lot of good stuff going on in the soccer.
Does
world
anyone
for
know,
US.
is the MLS on cable or is it only on that Apple TV bullshit?
I've never seen it on TV, to be honest.
It's only on Apple TV, I believe, as of right now, because they signed a huge deal with Apple, and they're doing like a MLS 360 thing, which is supposed to be like Red Zone and that kind of thing.
Yeah, but just not as cool because it's fucking soccer.
Right. But,
American football.
they're trying.
Yeah, I just
Keep
like
trying.
if you want to grow the
effort's
game,
there. I
you
like
should put it out there.
Right.
No, you just keep
I mean,
getting guys like
I can't
Lionel
even-
Messi to come over and
I
people
can't
will
even
watch.
watch Messi. Like, it's annoying. I want to watch it.
You're right. You are right.
And like
Alrighty, boys,
Addison's the
that's
season
just
ticket holder for Columbus. They're supposedly sick too. I'm like, dude, I've never watched
Fucking-
it. I don't know.
Fucking biggest fan over there in Columbus.
Dude, they just won it all last year. That's pretty sick. I said.
I
I
know
was
that
like,
was
first
sick.
year
They
you're
had,
a
like,
season
front row-
ticket holder?
They had
3
front
was
row
probably at
seats
the
to it.
parade, him and his girl and nobody else.
Dude, did you see
Was there a
that? I
parade?
remember. I remember his story whenever they won that game. That place literally
was-
looked like a soccer stadium in Europe. Like the
Yeah,
atmosphere is like.
okay. I wouldn't say that. Those things are crazy, but it was
You know what I mean.
packed.
It was
It
live.
for the
was
size of the venue. It's a great venue.
it was electric for
You
sure.
fill it. It's a cool place for sure. I've been.
It looks like
with
a
Addison.
small time European game over there. Not fucking Champions League, or you know what I mean.
Marquette up.
You guys watch that
22-4.
Welcome to Wrexham show
No, but I know
Or
the
heard about
concept
it?
behind it.
with Ryan Reynolds and
Ryan
them
Reynolds
buying
and
the
Wrexham
team?
FC. Yeah.
It feels like that is weird, but like the shots they show of their crowd and stuff, it feels like that.
Yeah.
And they
The
have a very
stadiums they
small
play in,
venue.
that's a similar size too.
Yeah.
So over
Alrighty,
there,
boys,
everything's
that's just about
sleepers.
everything.
Here that we have like club seats. They don't do club seats in Europe.
Right.
Jesse, I think it's almost time for you to get this outro out in one piece.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're ready to get out of here. Anything else to add before we get out of here for episode 27 here this week?
Go Rangers.
Get those books. Bees are buzzing in Boston, so the boys are buzzing too. We're ready to go.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Like I said, make sure you're staying tuned. Live stream this Saturday, college basketball slate. Nice little slate coming this weekend. So we'll see you guys on Saturday. But thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next Thursday for the podcast. Saturday for the basketball stream, and then obviously every Wednesday at 5:30 or 6 for NHL and NBA. So thanks for listening. Thanks for following us. We'll see you guys next week.